So, Ocean, please introduce yourself, tell about your rank and which college you're from.
Hello everyone, I am Dr. Ocean Bhatia, doing internship from AIIMS Delhi. I got a rank of 2 in INI-CET 2021, and yeah.
Great. So before we start, anybody would like to, give a vote of thanks before we start the interview proper?
I would actually like to thank the whole DBMCI group and the eGurukul and for helping me around in my preparation. I joined DBMCI test and discussion batch for the last year, and I attended Sir yours Dr. Thameem's class for medicine the whole 10 days, and Dr. Ashwini's anatomy class for the 5 days. And yeah.
Great. Great. It's really nice talking to you. Let's start with, when did you really think about postgraduate entrance exams, and when did you start preparing for it?
I had it in my mind that I would be writing PG exam, but I was pretty serious about it only in the internship. And throughout my UG days professional courses, I focused on standard textbooks. And for the clinical part in the third professional, I made it a point to have a set of notes for most of the subjects, so that would help me later around in the internship for revising. And in the internship itself, I focused on test and discussion part, and I had an idea of completing each subject in around 2 weeks, which goes with the T&D schedule, and giving the tests and just going about it that way.
Okay, I think somehow we missed introducing ourselves first. I'm Dr. Tameem, medicine faculty. I'm joined with Dr. Rajat, who is radiology faculty in DBMCI. Welcome, Dr. Rajat. So, Ocean, continuing with what you were suggesting, how did you phase your internship year? Because that obviously is going to be the most important year we count, because you've just given the exam. You're still continuing your internship, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
completing it on 31st.
In December, right?
Yeah.
So how did you pace this year? Like, what was your typical week, and what were you doing in that week?
So starting from the first month, I had a plan to finish first reading by at least the end of August, so that I could have some time to revise most of the subjects at least twice. So I was pretty much up to my plan, and following the T&D schedule helped me like uh, getting around all of the subject in the stipulated time, and also writing tests along with that. And after I had done my first reading, then I would revise and give grand tests and pick out my weaknesses and just focus on those topics
Right.
importantly.
How did you phase your revision, and how did how many exam mock gram tests you give in between? How many mock exams were you giving? How
Yeah,
frequently?
I started giving grand tests in around the month of May, and towards the end, I was giving grand tests and the mock tests around every week in the last month, because that actually helped me because there are a lot of subjects, 20 subject हैं तो कैसे देखें. So giving grand tests helped me point out the topics, specific topics in the specific areas which I could focus on, and just go with the revision from those.
Right. So
And yeah, and the vibe session which we had in the last 2 months, and I watched around more than half of the subjects, the videos. That also helped me to realize what were the areas I was lagging in, and which were the areas I had to go back and look around again.
great, Dr. Rajat.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ocean, I have a question for you. This is a
Yes,
very
sir.
common point that you have raised. Like a lot of students are messaging me right now that is it important to prepare for the 4 years to crack the exam? That like you have also, like you said, that was there in your mind, that you have to prepare for the exam. But your main preparation, as you said, that was focused on the internship during the T&D program that we did, and specifically in this year when the COVID was an added stress.
Yeah.
So what is your I mean, because over a period of time, this is what I have experienced, is that the students are joining the institute, students are preparing, students are attending the classes, but somehow it is difficult to maintain that motivation. So now if you have 1 year for your preparation, you have done your homework pretty well. As you said that you were very regular with your textbook, your standard textbook, but your real preparation started in the internship. So what is your advice to the student who have 1 complete year for the preparation and these kind of stresses that have come up? So how you have coped up on those, and what is your advice to the student who are looking forward for your advice?
So yeah, as I just mentioned, if you plan to complete your whole prep for 19 subjects in a year, then you have to be, well on time. You have to have a well made time schedule, and keeping in mind a set number of revisions which you want to have in the end. So keeping a fixed time schedule for each subject, like 2 to 3 weeks, or for minors 1 week, and just getting around revising notes, and giving subject wise tests and the discussions that follow.
One more point that I want to ask you is that nowadays there is a very common aspect of FOMO that is coming to the student's mind, and that is what I call as a fear of missing out. Now, every time the student are writing the test, different places, and like sometime when you are aiming for a great rank, you have to join at multiple places also, and that's again a common trend that has happened. And sometime what is happening is that you do not know a particular topic. So what was your reaction to those particular parts? Being getting such a rank, I think people will be looking for this particular advice from you. If I take the typical example of sir's class, like you said that you have attended the TND and you have attended sir's medicine class also. So like if I just focus onto the medicine part, what was your suggestion to the student about the medicine that you have attended with sir?
Yeah, first of all, your first question about the fear of missing out. It also happened with me that when I would write a test, and some of my friends would get some of the questions right, which I got wrong, and they would have looked up at other places. But it's all about, it averages out. It's about trusting your source. Even if you follow one source wholeheartedly and complete and revise it, and revise the same source multiple times, then it all like averages out, and you get a hold of multiple topics. So it's about trusting your source and just being thorough with the revision. The revision part is more important rather than the multiplicity of sources. And talking about Dr. Tamim's class, it was a wholesome experience, right? I attended it last year in my final year, and it also helped me write my professional exams, because I gave a thorough and a crisp, review of the medicine in just 10 days, which is great. Like, medicine is such a vast subject, and focusing on the important topics, and believe me, I didn't read anything else for medicine in my internship. So so the notes I got made attending Dr. Tamim's class really helped me.
So basically, see, the whole idea of asking this particular question is because as the medicine is such a vast subject that there is no limit onto the things that people can read. And every time when we talk to the students are coming up this particular doubts: is it enough? Is it enough? Is it enough? So here is a big example for you. Ocean has got rank 2, and 90% of the people can't even dream of getting rank 1 or rank 2 in the exam. So a person who has got rank 2 by trusting one particular source for a particular thing. So I think that is you can also trust on that particular part. Ocean, what was your overall experience with DBMCI in terms of the TND, in terms of the other classes, in terms of the vibe that you have mentioned? Any specific names that you want to mention?
Yeah, it was pretty great actually, because I was pretty serious for the preparation in the internship only, and I got to attend almost all the subjects for TND in DBMCI only. So that helped me get around with my first reading and the subsequent revisions quite well. And vibe session I would like to mention, there was also it was not just image based discussion. For each subject, the teachers will start with the recent updates. So like just for an example, COVID-19 had around 5 to 6 questions this year. So on eGurukul app, we had a special session for COVID-19.
I think his image is frozen.
That's okay. I think
so that helped me a lot. and talking were completely instrument-based.
Ocean, there is some problem with your audio. So after the COVID session at the eGurukul, can you just say it once again? There was some problem with the video. Yeah.
Yeah, I also ended up attending almost a lot of the Vibe sessions, and it was not just about the image-based discussion. It was also about the updates, as I talked about it earlier. And yeah, and yes, the images were important in the sense that we had a lot of like instruments, the clinical procedures which were asked in the INICET exam. Like in anesthesia, almost all the questions were images-based, just like ENT, anatomy. So the images part was quite important for this exam, and the updates.
Yeah. Ocean, one more thing is, see, apart from the content that you get in a TND, I feel that one of the biggest, because during my time when I was appearing for the exam, I also joined a TND course. And I believe that the biggest advantage that a TND course gives you, that it helps you in stay on track. Because normally what happens is that you're not able to decide on that how much time is to be given for a particular subject. Now, why I'm telling you, or why I want you to give this advice to the students is, I'm not sure whether you're aware of that particular part or not, but because now your aim, I'm sure, was always about the aims of the INICET exam, and that exam is over. But now the NEET is delayed. We know that it was supposed to be on 10th of January, and now supposedly it will be in the second week of April. And the students have already done their homework, and now they have got 4 months extra in their 3 months extra in their preparation. So now I feel that there are few people who can remain motivated and they can read on their own, but there are people like who do not know what to do with these 4 months. Like, what was your experience with the TND? Do you think that it helped you in staying on track, and specifically in this stressful time?
Yeah, as I mentioned before, that there are a lot of subjects to cover, and that too in, it's not the whole year. You have to do it in 7 to 8 months to keep ample time for the revision. So managing your time for all the 20 subjects in just 6 to 7 months is very difficult if you don't have a set schedule and a test and a discussion at the end to guide you with the weaknesses you have, and which you can go back and revise them.
So over to you.
Yeah, Ocean, I having worked in AIIMS, I've personally seen the interns work very hard over there. So I think this must be in a busy year. My question is, how important was the practical experience you gained as an intern relevant in the questions that were asked in AIIMS?
Yes, sir. A lot of clinical questions based on clinical approach to the patient were asked, and a lot of like procedural skills and the instrument-based questions, as I highlighted out. Like we had a question on high flow nasal cannula system, and the cannulas and the anesthesia airway tray and all that. So I thought that I mean, you can't actually rote learn those things by just reading your textbooks and all. You have to have a good exposure in the clinical postings and your internship rotations, and these all practical skills go hand in hand with your notes and your theory. So because exams these days are focusing on more of clinical skills, and it would also be reflected in the next exam which we are having the next year. And so
how would you rate the paper?
Clinical postings and so I would rate it moderately tough on just a glance. No, there was not a lot of actual part. The questions seemed to be simple, but the options which were given were quite tricky, because in almost 30 to 40 questions which I kept for review at the end, I had to decide between two options. The question was a standard one, like on CA Breast, but still I had to pick up between two options. I had to make a mind. I had to spend some time over those. So the options were tricky, but the questions looked simple. But I would say it was moderately tough. There were not a lot of factual. They were recall based questions, but yeah, the integrational approach, like in medicine, combined with pharma, micro, and a lot of clinical, practicals were reflected out in the questions which were asked.
Right. So finally, I think the whole purpose of recording this video is the students who are watching this should get some benefit, and they should modify their preparation in a way that will help them make it into the institute like AIMS. So what something that you did differently that you think helped you get this amazing rank?
Yeah, I was pretty consistent with keeping my time schedule on track. Uh, I had it in my mind that I had to complete at least 2 revisions in the end. So I thought of completing first revision by the end of August. So the revisions were the key, and giving grand tests in the end and going back through those topics. So in the end, I would say a must.
I'm sorry, I think
And having trust in yourself. And
yeah, I think we were not able to get you there. Could you just
can you hear
repeat?
me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Two things which I would like to talk about is first of all, revision, ample number of revisions, as much as you can do, but minimum of 2 to 3, and giving grand tests, especially towards the end, which helps you. It is not just about being thorough with the topic, it's also about time management, because I had a lot of time management issue towards the end, which I had to practice only by giving grand tests. So, and having a trust in yourself, in your source, and just revising it again and again.
Right. One final question from my side. How was your overall UG? Like, were you topping in the class? And if you don't mind, what was your rank when you joined AIMS?
I had a rank of 4. Yeah, 4 when I joined AIMS, and yeah, I was doing pretty decently well in exams also. So
Right. It's been a pleasure
yeah,
talking to you, Oshin. I hand over to
yeah.
Rajat.
Thank you so much.
A big congratulations, Oshin, specifically in this stressful time. I don't know how stressful you were, but as a teacher also, and as a faculty, as a director also, I was very stressful with the students, and it feels great when the student have scored such a good rank, and when you come to know that you were also a part of it, then it feels amazing. A big congratulations, not just to you, but to your entire family, and I will say to your friends also, because I have realized that when I got rank 1, more than me, my friends were happy. So, and specifically who care about you. So a big congratulations to your family, to everybody who cares for you around. And that is what I'll say. And just keep guiding your students. I'm sure that the people are there who gonna, this video is gonna be there. We'll keep on saying different aspect, but just keep guiding your juniors in the best
Sure.
possible way, and may you get all lot more success in the life that you're looking for. Once again,
Thanks
a
a
big
lot, sir.
congratulations.
Thank you so much, sir.
Congratulations again. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.